Hey there, let's talk about attorney's fees. We all know that divorces can get really expensive, and everybody asks, what can I do to save on attorney's fees? Well, after having done this for almost 30 years, I probably have a few opinions. I'm Jim Krayeveld, the lead attorney at Krayeveld Family Law, and over these years, I've at least tried to give my clients examples of what not to do and what to do. For example, if you're contacting your attorney too often and you're calling unnecessarily, you're going to rack up a bill. Attorneys typically charge by the hour. The more that you communicate with them, the more it's probably going to cost you. And again, if you can reduce your phone calls to an email, or you take 8 different thoughts that flit through your mind, put them all down, and make one phone call that deals with all of the issues, it's probably going to save you money. If you are calling repeatedly, you should probably expect that you're going to get charged for the time that your attorney stops to talk to you to answer that question and then get back to work. When you are able to settle your case, you're going to be able to save money, of course, because spouses that have their other spouse either unable or unwilling to settle or even to talk reasonably or civilly, you're spending more time dealing with your attorneys. It'll lead to more litigation, which means more mediation, more settlement conferences, more back and forth, potentially more motions. You're spending time in court. Again, all of that costs money. Another issue that can save you money and time is if you know your numbers, if you know your assets, you know your debts. Do you have paperwork? For example, you can get your house value. Do you have copies of the mortgage? Do you have bank statements? Do you have tax returns? Do you have all your other assets, retirement accounts? Again, the more documentation you have of all of your assets and all of your debts that you can compile and give to your attorney, the more streamlined things will be, the less it'll cost you. Speaking of house values, yes, you may need to hire experts. If you have to value your house and get an appraisal, that will cost a little bit of extra money. If you have a business and you have a business valuation, that expert will cost even more money. Custody fights, on occasion, do use experts. And so if you're going to use a psychologist or a therapist or any other medical professionals and they have to testify, they're going to charge you for their time. That will also add up. So again, yes, if your case is more complicated, it's expected to be costing more. Lastly, if you cannot settle and your case doesn't settle either through the attorney's efforts or at mediation or at a settlement conference with some input from the judge, you're going to go to trial. Trials are very expensive. You have the time of preparing for trial, getting all your documentation lined up, your witnesses lined up, doing a trial brief, and then actually showing up and trying your case, which is presenting the evidence, getting testimony out of witnesses, and that can take days, which can get really expensive. So if you have your paperwork, have your documentation, and can be civil and exchange information and try to get things done through either civil conversations with your spouse or at mediation where you've got the help of outside experts, you can save money on your attorney's fees. And again, the more efficient you are with your attorney, that will save money too. I hope this was helpful. And until next time, thank you.